Did we get to see a future memory from the manga in an episode called Memories of the Future? Yes, we did. More on this later on this video. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Attack on Titan video about the latest episode we had this week. Honestly, this episode doesn't leave my mind, and I know I have much more to talk about, especially because my latest review was completely spoiler free, so this video will be split into two parts. The first one is spoiler free, where we will explain why did Grisha give his Titan to his son, even after he told Zeke he should stop Eren. We will also address another founding Titan holder living in those years. And lastly, I will talk more about the memories and show you more proof of why they are not actual memories. In the second part, I will show you a very interesting single frame we had in this episode, a future distant memory from the manga, and also my own theory of how it is all connected to this eye from episode 19. Lots of surprising things to talk about today, so if you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to help me reach 10k YouTube friends. And most importantly, come say hi to me in the comments or on any of your favorite social media platforms. I really enjoy talking to all of you. Part 1. Spoiler free. In the latest episode, we went on a journey down the memories of Grisha. Something I didn't mention in my review was the first time Grisha found the Wraith's hideout. In the episode, we see Grisha giving up on his dream to save Eldia and going back to his loving family. That was also the moment Zeke realized he and his young brother don't share the same childhood pain. But here is something interesting. Grisha originally found the chapel in the year 837, while Frida only got her Titan in the year 842. That means that if Grisha had gone down to that cave on that day, he would have met Uri Wraith, and that fight could have ended completely different. Why? Because we saw Uri in the past, and in what is he defeated Kenny Ackerman. Now, you might say that Kenny was surprised, and also he doesn't have a Titan as Grisha does. But that is not the important thing. The most important thing is how Uri reacted when facing a threat. He was completely calm, even as he stopped a knife with his bare hand. Uri had more experience. If you wish, you could say he was older and wiser than Frida, as we can also see later when he bowed down to Kenny, showing humility and good nature to the person who tried to kill him. Now sure, Kenny never acted against the vow to renounce war, and if he did, I would imagine Uri stopping him. But because Kenny had no connection to the vow, he and Uri became good friends instead. That would not go the same for Grisha if he indeed met Uri on that day. We can imagine Uri being a calmer and more collected in this situation, which might have translated to a different result in that fight. After all, your state of mind is a major factor before entering any kind of competitive situation, not to mention a life and death battle. I like to believe that Grisha was saved this day to show us how people's slight different actions can result in much bigger, substantial differences. Moving on. In my episode review and also in my original manga review, I explain why those moments are not actual memories. These are the actual moments happening right now, according to the perspective of the person experiencing them. One of the powers of the Founding Titan is to bring you to that exact moment across time and space, like a pinpoint location. And this is why its name is the coordinates, like GPS, only across space and time. It is not some simple projections of images from the past. And the most important thing is, you cannot change a memory. This is simply impossible. Just ask Rick from Rick and Morty if you don't believe me.
What are you talking about? This is a memory. You can't alter details of a memory.
True, but you can alter anything you want about a totally fabricated origin story.
But anyway, I figured out how to help you visualize it better, and for that, I will compare it to the scene from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. In this scene, Harry gets to relive the memory of Tom Riddle, using the diary he left behind. In this scenario, Harry is inside a memory, a projection from the past. He can't interact with it, and he clearly can't change anything. This is not the case in our story, as we can see clear interactions with Eren pushes memories into Grisha's mind and affects the situation. But more importantly, we have the 2 times the brothers touched Grisha. Once here, when Eren places his hand on his shoulder. Just so you understand, this was not in the manga, which means Isayama wanted this to be shown like this in the anime to make it more clear. The second and more obvious time is when Grisha hugged Zeke. Now, a few people on Facebook told me they watched a video explaining why they are not actually touching each other and they are more like projections. Now, I don't know the YouTuber who made that video, but here is my answer and personal opinion. In addition to Zeke's body reacting to the touch of his father falling into his arms, the anime also made sure to add a sound to that slight collision between them. As Grisha hugs Zeke, you can hear a clear thump sound. The same thing happens in the cave, as Grisha moves from Eren's subtle touch. Also here, the anime added sound to that subtle tap on the shoulder. All those are here to show you these are not some projections, and this experience is much more interactive and clearly not just a simple memory. If you want to imagine it in a fun way, think of literally any ghost story. The ghosts are always there, but at some point they interact with the living. This is not the same situation as our story, but the visual representation should be similar, as Eren and Zeke are like ghosts in this scenario. Always around, but they can interact only on certain occasions or when certain conditions are met. If you want to see my original review and thoughts, go check out this video. These are not memories. Moving on. One major question people had was, why did Grisha eventually go with Eren and gave him his Titan? All that after he told Zeke to stop him. First, we need to understand that this is the day the walls were broken. When Grisha asked Eren why he didn't show him the day the walls fell, he meant a future event, to clearly show us that Eren did show him something horrible in the future. But here is something important. Eren didn't show Grisha what happened to Carla, and at this point in time, Carla is already dead. Grisha doesn't know it yet, and we have to remember that the only reason he did all of this was to save his family. If Eren disclosed her death, who knows what Grisha would have done? So Eren kept this information away from him because he wanted him to learn about that from someone else, and that someone else was young Eren. Now let me take you back to the episode Bystander and Grisha's first words when he found Eren. Wake up, Eren. Why wasn't your mom with you? The first thing he asks is about Carla, and when Eren tells his dad that his mom was eaten, this was Grisha's final breaking point. This was the second time he lost his wife to Marley, and the second time he was powerless to prevent it. At that moment, Grisha had his moment of human reaction. As a man who lost everything, his first words to Eren are, "You must avenge your mom." In Grisha's mind, this is the last way for him to avenge. He is about to die because he is on his last year of the 13 years duration. So he must do something, and he chooses to follow Eren's plan as his final act to avenge his family. Sadly, this is not even the saddest thing in that situation, but that is a major spoiler and something for a different video. This is where our first part ends and the spoiler begins, and this is the time you should decide if you want to know the truth, or wait a little longer. And if you enjoyed the video so far, drop me a little like and subscribe. Be a friend. Part 2. You are free. And also spoilers. In the second part of the previous episode, Eren told Zeke that his father didn't make him this way. He was like this since birth. The moment Zeke asks him that, we get a fast glimpse of this image. If we look at it carefully, we can see this is the panel of Grisha holding young Eren, telling him, "You are free." This moment will be revealed only at the end of the story, as the true moment that gave Eren his deep desire to seek freedom, and later on will take a different shape as Eren gave those words his own personal meaning. If you want to know more about that, feel free to check this video where I explained Eren's entire character development. We can see that Eren's look here is similar to when he explained to Armin why he did what he did. At the very end, he still didn't know for sure, but this panel was revealed to us readers. And in some sense, we learned this was indeed a story that Grisha started, because no one forced those words into Grisha. It was his sincere wish for his son to be free from hate. The truth is that this is one of the most influential moments for Eren, the moment the power of his titan resonated through time and space to affect even his younger self. Also, in the previous episode, we got a mysterious eye looking at the images of memories. This eye, like it or not, is an anime original, and it was not present in a manga. Well, it was actually, but not at this specific moment, because I believe this is the eye of Eren. But I am talking about baby Eren. This is his eye, as we see it slowly opens up in this manga panel, and I believe the anime placed this eye at that moment to show us the extent of information Eren has been exposed to, and if we look at this eye closely, we can see a few resemblance. It is subtle, but it is still there. And if I am right, that means we got future memories of the manga shown to us in an anime episode called Memories of the Future. And that is something only Attack on Titan can pull off. So, let me know what you think about that. Is this baby Eren's eye? And if you think differently, let me know your idea too. And that is all for this video, my Titan loving friends, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you all for joining me today, and I will see you all real soon. And until then, don't forget to dedicate your hearts to humanity, inside and outside the walls.